do, hold on. Just a second. That's my phone somewhere, and someplace, and,
Do we need to call you?
I don't think so.
All right.
I probably have it on silent. Good evening and welcome to a regular meeting of the Elizabeth School Board. It is Tuesday, March 24th, 2026, and I will call this meeting to order at 7:06 p.m. May we please have a roll call?
Yes, Mr. Boggs.
Present.
Ms. Olson.
Here.
Mr. Manley.
Present.
Ms. Weatherby.
Present. Okay. Now, let's see, we have an agenda that was provided last week. Additionally, this afternoon, I received the email that I have shared with you. There's a property owner in the town who is interested because he is basically the director of the New York Agricultural Land Trust has reached out to see if we are interested in putting in a letter of support for a property owner who wishes to put their property into a conservation easement for agriculture. Since it was right before the meeting, I don't write letters of support without the endorsement of the town board. So I have the same information you guys have. Would you be willing to consider it under discussion for new business?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yep.
So I would add that as letter of support for land conservation application as B under new business. Any other alterations or changes needed to the agenda? Okay, then I'll accept a motion to approve the agenda as amended.
Move to approve as amended.
Thank you. The second, holy freaking cow, guys, sorry.
Second.
I've been silencing everything and it's still not doing it. There we go. Okay, all those in favor?
Aye.
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 Thank you. Okay, privilege of the floor. Anyone is welcome to speak for up to 3 minutes. I do it in person, followed by online. So if you'd like to speak, please indicate if you're in the room. Anybody online? One more time. Okay. And we will move on to old business. And may I welcome our highway superintendent up here. You can come all the way up to here so everybody can see you. Come down.
Yes, so.
So, see, for your application, we talked about this in the org meeting.
Yeah.
This is like a really standard practice. We do the agreement for the expenditure of highway monies at the org meeting, and then it always gets revised as Scott gets his numbers because the numbers in January are not the numbers of March.
Yeah, it's a weird setup. And then they haven't even passed the state budget yet.
So we might be back again.
No, hopefully not.
Oh.
So the money has not changed from the last agreement. And let me see if this is the last agreement, which I can pass around. But anyways, it's not, the money hasn't changed. The only thing that's changed is I was going to do some work on Agard Road as far as paving it, but it looks like my quotes that I'm getting back that's not going to work out. So that's going to go on the back burner till next year, I think. But we are gonna do some work on Agard Road as far as the shoulders go. And we have 2 culverts that need to be replaced at the end of like near towards 89. So I added those. There's 2 culverts on Willow Creek that these are all like under 3 feet. They're not really big culverts. And there's one on Curry Road that's got an issue. But again, that's another small culvert. And then on the bottom here for the micro pave, that's basically like a sealer. So we're gonna bind Mayo Road and then we're gonna seal it later on. So that's why they're on there twice. And then Upper Agard, we're gonna seal, Brook Road, Boyd Hill, Honeybee Lane, and the Cold Springs Road, the portion that we paved last year. We're gonna seal that. And that's probably gonna cost pretty close to that. Hopefully not, but we'll see. But we have a lot of, you know, work to do on roads that is not in here too. So we have a lot of shoulder work and stuff too, so. But we won't get paid back for that. It's pretty self-explanatory. It really hasn't changed much.
Any questions?
Your comment about the state budget. Yeah, does that affect this?
Well, because they want you to do the 284 in January at the
Right.
organizational meeting, and like, we have no idea what the roads are gonna be, like, until after winter. And then I don't know how much money I'm gonna get from chips. They don't really change from year to year that much, but, without knowing what you're gonna get for the year, because they haven't passed the budget.
Could be a lot too.
So it's kind of hard it's not hard on, it's just hard because we have to come up to the board and try to get it approved every time. It's fine. You guys never say no, so thank you.
You can be the first.
Yeah.
No.
Where's the Curry Bridge or the Curry Culvert?
It's out by you. It's where your neighbor there, it's right there.
Oh, okay.
The one that's. I don't know what the address is, but it's if you're looking out towards Curry Road,
Mhm.
it's this neighbor.
Got it. Okay,
The small one.
It just runs under the width of the road.
there.
Yeah.
Under the road.
And that's gonna get everything's going to plastic. So anything that we take out, plastic's going back in. And they have a lifespan of like 40, 50 years, so. It should be good for a while.
What's the, just in general, what's the size where it goes to like, I mean, like our big culverts that we're paying big money for? What can you guys do in-house?
Anything under 3 feet is usually, I feel pretty comfortable that we can just take them out and, stick them right back in the same size.
3 feet in diameter.
Yeah, anything over that, I usually will call like the county, because they have, engineers or whatever, and they'll come and take a look at it and refer to me what I should do. So.
Any other questions? Do you know how much this will leave us in the CHIPS effective savings account that we have?
I don't really, because I haven't gotten all the quotes back.
Yeah.
I was trying to get them all for this meeting, and I got like maybe half of them back, so I should know by the next meeting how much money we'll have left over. So,
Interesting just to see it or hear it. You could just put it in a report. You don't have to come
Yeah,
and present
it's
to
fine.
us. But like, your monthly report next month, you have that information.
yeah, I can do that.
And you're saying quotes, when we were talking on Monday, quotes are just coming back really high.
Yeah. They're a little bit higher than they have been in the past, which is expected with the oil costs going up and everything, gas. So. I mean, it's not like we can't do it. It's just, it's going up.
Yeah.
So,
And the increases, are they materials, labor, both, one more than
Both.
the other, both?
yeah, one hand wash with the other.
Sure.
So, yeah, materials definitely going up. No doubt about it.
This isn't related to this, but in my bracket pool where I picked Michigan, I'm not doing. So I'm just March Madness. It's not working for me with your Michigan. So,
But that's good.
but the pool that I picked it for is not doing well, so but they're doing well. Neither here nor there. Okay, well, anybody else have any other questions? How do you feel about, I will read the resolution and move it. Whereas the town board must approve expenditures annually for the maintenance of roads, and whereas by law, the town board must approve these expenditures for highway maintenance. Now therefore be it resolved that the Ulysses Town Board approves the attached agreement for the expenditure of highway monies as presented by the Ulysses Highway Superintendent at the March 24th, 2026 Town Board meeting, superseding the version adopted by the Ulysses Town Board on January 7th, 2026.
Second.
Thank you. Any further discussion? All those in favor?
Aye.
And Scott, you've already signed the original, right?
Yeah,
Okay, so I need everybody here, just to sign under one of the councilman's spots. Please, let's go do that right now. Do you take it or does Chris have? Usually Chris have? I'll make sure I give it to you tonight, then Chris.
things to look forward to, from me. I might be at the meetings on April, because we are, Blixie, Lori and myself are working on revising the capital plan. It's same as, this year's not changing at all. But because we are not contracted to, do snow and ice control on the county roads, that kind of like changed our capital plan to a certain extent, because when we did the county roads, we needed an extra 10-wheeler in order for us to do that. So now we don't do that. So that does change the capital plan a little bit. Well, quite a lot actually, because they're like $500,000. But soon you'll see a revised one. Just letting you guys know that that'll come up soon.
Yes, Michael?
No, I was trying to figure out where I was
Oh,
looking for something. Sorry, thank you.
No worries. I wanted to ask a question. Any other questions for Scott while he's here?
Well, thanks, Scott, for your guidance, trying to connect me with state
Oh,
and
yeah.
county. Haven't had any luck yet, but I have reached out about the culvert in the corner at Craft and 89.
Yeah.
So we have a neighbor and a resident who's concerned about it and has been very helpful in the middle of the night where there's a boat or a trailer off the road, and
All right.
makes her nervous, but I've reached out twice. I'll try again. Left a voicemail. I gotta find a good email address.
Okay, all right, I'll see, I can help you a little bit with
Yeah.
the SAC guy, because
Yeah,
he might be able to help some. So
That'd be great.
I'll get you a number for that.
yeah, appreciate it.
Yeah, it's hard in the town because our jurisdiction only extends over our roads
Yeah.
and not even always then, with things
Right,
like speed
right.
limits. So it's tricky when you get onto state, the state right of way, it's all state control, so.
Yeah, it's not something I think we can leverage to fix or change. It's just to make it noticeable, because
Yeah, they might have. to
people
put
take that corner as tight as they can for
Yeah.
good reason.
Yeah.
And
They may have to put a delineator post there or something,
Yeah.
or, yeah. So,
Yeah.
I'll get with you.
appreciate it. I'll shoot you a note to follow up.
Awesome. Well, thank you. Thank you for coming out and we look forward to seeing you in April.
Yeah,
I know you look forward to seeing
Coming
it
up.
too. When are you guys going to 480s?
probably not until the second week of April. Cause I wanted to start on a payroll.
Yeah.
And the weather hasn't really
No.
been cooperative so far, so. So, yeah.
Cool. Try to do what we can to make better weather, so. But he was telling me they were salting this morning.
Not what I wanted to do, but we had to do a few roads.
Yeah,
I put down as the least possible. But I don't have any control over the county and the state though, because I put a lot down, so.
anybody where county tax dollars are going? That might be part of it. Okay, great. Well, thank you so much, Scott. And you're always welcome to stick around, but you're also very welcome to go.
I was happy, well.
Yeah, I know. I was just being courteous.
Things for.
We're not up with you at 6 o'clock in the morning, salting roads, so
4:30 this.
4:30, there you go.
All right, everybody
Thank
have a
you.
good night.
You
Thanks,
go.
sir.
Okay, next up, couple of meetings ago, it sounded like the town board was in favor of developing some definitions. And these are, some definitions legal counsel provided us, to consider. If we went to, a local law, we'd obviously, well, if we take it to that step, there'll be a public hearing, there'll be, the whole review process. But I brought you definitions to get your feedback, and then I'm proposing tonight that we send them to the planning board and the Board of Zoning Appeals and to staff for review also before we take it to the local law level, because when you hold the local law public hearing, I mean, it's a whole process to go through that, and it figures that it would be, just wanted to bring these as for consideration tonight and see how the board felt, and if we're ready to get feedback from those groups and individuals. I know you didn't say cryptocurrency, but that was recommended for inclusion.
It's very similar process.
Yeah.
That's one include both.
Yep.
Can you review again I'll say for me, but maybe there's other people too. By defining it and then we're not needing to use it, just to clarify that for me.
So, I will use, our sister community in Lansing.
Yeah.
As the example of what has appeared to be happening there, which is, the company wanted to have a data storage center.
Right.
And so they applied, basically for an exemption or a variant to be considered under a processing category that does exist in the
Okay.
Lansing code. So Lansing didn't have a data center definition
Right.
or and so they were able to get, approved for that.
Okay.
And they made the argument that that's what they're doing, is that what they're doing actually fits under that definition. And I'm not gonna weigh in because I got more than enough in the Ulysses side without weighing
Sure.
in on my thoughts on whether or not they were right or wrong in that. I'm not an expert by any means in Lansing code, so, but what I would like to do is close any potential loopholes in Ulysses by expressly identifying what we mean by data centers, and cryptocurrency. And by defining it and then not saying it's allowed in any specific zone, someone can't say, well, it's not actually this, it's something else.
Got it.
So if someone came in wanting to do a data center, we say, well, we know what a data center is. We understand what a data center is.
Okay.
We have not said it's an allowed use. And the way our zoning code works is anything that is not an allowed use is by its nature prohibited.
Okay.
So it's a way to basically close a loophole, that nobody I haven't heard any chattering about a data center coming here. I've talked to people who are connected to the field, and right now we're not perceived to have the electrical infrastructure grid necessary to make it appealing. But I also I'd rather be more proactive than reactive.
How's our definition on processing center, given that was the loophole, it seems, on the other side?
I don't know if we have a definition for processing center, but if you're doing data, you're gonna have a hard time arguing that's a processing center and not a data center, so we're kind of following in the Dryden steps.
Sure.
This is fairly similar to how Dryden has handled it
Okay.
as well.
Do we know how, I didn't look it up, but do we know how these definitions compare to Dryden's? States?
They basically are,
We share an attorney with Dryden.
we might share an attorney as well.
Okay. And they
Thank you.
just passed theirs.
Yeah.
Or a month ago, I guess it was.
Yeah.
Okay.
But again, I mean, I'm not wedded to these
Yeah.
definitions and that's why I think it'd be good to get feedback, let the community, see these. They were posted today. Obviously there'd be a public hearing process to adopt a local law anyway. But getting them out to the boards and committees that would end up having to interpret them at
Right.
some point,
Right.
getting their feedback, seemed
I think that
appropriate.
makes sense.
Mhm. I like that as the next step.
Well, if that's what you'd like to do, I put a resolution together. I'm happy to move it. Whereas the Ulysses Town Board is interested in amending the town zoning code to include definitions for data and cyber mining centers. And whereas the planning board, Board of Zoning Appeals and staff has specialized knowledge related to zoning, now therefore be it resolved that the Ulysses Town Board requests that the planning board, Board of Zoning Appeals and staff provide feedback on the definitions presented by the town supervisor on March 24th, 2026.
Second,
Thank you. Any further discussion on this?
No, that's what they say.
Okay. And even though it's not part of the it's no required process, I think that we can push out this information in our various ways that we push out information to encourage the public to weigh in on these definitions. This is a really evolving field, so I'd be interested to hear their thoughts on whether or not they think this works, in addition to those from our planning board, Board of Zoning and staff. So
If we're inviting other comment, do we, and this is just process question, I guess, would we want to include that in the resolution that we're also inviting comment from the public at large at this time?
we can encourage, like, yeah, I mean, I bet it's not a public hearing.
But that's why I'm asking.
I thought we would simply like disseminate it on Facebook,
Sure.
disseminate it through our Facebook page, disseminate it through the newsletter.
Mhm.
We will go through.
We'll have to do a public
We'll
hearing.
Yeah.
have to do a public hearing and the public notification for if we take it to a law
Okay,
change. But we just try to keep people up to date as it is, so.
yeah, that makes sense.
Okay. So we had a motion and a second. Any further comment or discussion? Okay, I'll call for a vote. All those in favor?
right,
Aye.
Thank you. And then that brings us to, okay, we're gonna this again. That brings us to the next item, was the process for filling a temporary vacancy on the town board. I actually did not put, that was a typo on my part to have included the resolution. I did on the agenda. I didn't include a resolution. I went and talked to the town council and wanted to bring back what I heard from him. He went over that this is a discretionary action by the town board. Filling a vacancy would only be through the end of this year. And that we can choose to do it, not choose, that's what discretionary means. In this case, we can choose to fill it. We're not required to fill it. But if we choose to fill it, we can simply appoint someone, like we could take a vote right now and appoint somebody. We can go through a process that we create that would encourage public participation and collect applications and do interviews and things like that. There is open meetings requirements for interviews that involve a majority of town board members do need to be conducted in public session. So that's different than it is necessarily for like job interviews. For elected officials, it's a different, for someone who's filling an elected seat, even though they're not an elected official, that happens there. If we go that route, there's a process historically that we could follow from a few years ago. Generally that it usually takes a few months to go through a full public process. But I just wanted to get a sense from the board of what direction and how you'd like to proceed.
I'm not gonna speak for Steve, but I know I wasn't here for that process. I'd almost like to see kind of a detailed out process.
Okay.
And just with timeframes so that we can get our heads around what might be required or what is required. Because I haven't done it before.
So I take it you don't want to just appoint someone tonight. I can just
Well,
say you want to-
no, I don't. We've heard some people who want to do it, and I
Yeah.
respect all those people, but I think we need to go through a process and open it up to others too. I don't know.
Steve, Michael, what do you guys think?
If you put out an APB to say there's an opening and
Maybe.
uh. Interested parties to maybe submit something to Carissa, and then we
Yeah.
can do interviews. It can't be too long and, drawn out, otherwise you just wait for the election,
Right.
so if we need to get somebody in the seat, then we should do it fairly soon.
I mean, I will say I'm leaning, I mean, I would like to see that seat filled. I don't want to wait till January to have another person, so I am interested in doing this process.
And my first thought was to go back and figure out how many committees are currently missing. And, a board member rep and what that might mean just for us keeping up to date on things. And to make sure I'm following the idea of like a direct appointment versus creating or following a pre-created or modified application process, like our two options, or the third is wait until an election in November and then the installation, the reorganization meeting in January.
Well,
Is that what I'm hearing? Like,
yeah, I mean, I think those are probably like from Nate's standpoint, those are the town attorney standpoint, those are the processes. When you do the processes is at the discretion of the.
okay,
So one thing he did point out is we do have a diversity, equity, and inclusion policy that does require us to make effort for positions to like
Yeah.
disseminate. So it can't be like, who saw the email tomorrow and applies by Friday. Like that's
Right.
just not fair. That's
Right.
not public engagement. I do think that we would need to follow a more similar process to when we filled my seat. So when I became supervisor, there was an opening and that seat got filled late February, early March, the
Okay.
seat that opened. So it was a multi-month process to go through, to give people time to apply, to answer questions, to, I think we should probably have an opportunity for the public to meet the people who are interested in serving. And we could facilitate a meet and greet type of thing. We would need to do interviews. We'd have to develop the questions we want to ask. We need to ask everybody the same questions. So, I mean, it's not I don't think I don't think to do a good job, we could deviate too far from where that kind of transparent process. And we did not, in my recollection is we were not criticized for our process for how we handled it the last time back in 2022. So that seems like there's precedent to looking at that process, but I wanted to see what the direction of the board is. Nate's like, you have boards that go from, we want to leave the seat vacant. We want to leave the seat vacant until there's, the community has a chance to go through a primary process to see if there's actually someone who's going to be the inevitable, most likely candidate. And then, because there could also be value of having whoever is selected by the public through an election process in the primary system,
right,
maybe get to serve for 2.5 years, so there's a lot of things, but we're kind of in a weird spot.
right.
So he raised those issues. I wanted to bring them to the board and see what direction you'd like to go in.
I mean, I think understanding the process will be very helpful for me. So I don't know if we can, just until the next meeting, can we direct Nate and you or Chris or whoever was involved?
Marissa does not want to do this, but maybe she can help documents from last time. No, don't speak.
I'm not adding
She's
more to
got a
you.
lot going on.
I don't want to add more to your plate. But can we just direct
Direct whatever you want.
What do you mean
direct somebody to come up to detail out the process so that we can understand what the requirements are and when the public understands what the steps are, and
Well,
then
you get treated like a job interview.
Yeah, I think.
That's why they make an announcement,
Yeah.
meet candidates and,
okay.
then hold the interviews. And like Caitlin was saying, come up with a list of questions we can ask.
We need to come up with timelines.
Yep.
We would need to have posters created and all of those things. Like, it's not, I appreciate your expeditiousness of that.
But I
It's
didn't
actually a
mean-
lot of work. I mean, it's, well, maybe not a lot of work, for me. It's a lot of effort to get community engagement. So we
Sure.
want to go through, do you want me to pull together the plan from how we did it in 2022?
Yes, I
Yeah.
think that would be, I
Okay,
That would be very
Okay.
helpful.
think that'd be helpful to see and give us a sense, they'll give me a sense of like the pacing and time and the amount of effort and energy that it requires. Like the time is the time, but the
And maybe
effort
there's a
and the,
few things we can do a little differently because things have changed technology wise and Facebook and stuff.
true. Yeah, we weren't on Facebook before, that's for sure. Okay, well, we can go back and go through the historical record to see what we went through, but I remember, I think it was a 6 to 7 week process last time, if I'm recalling correctly, but it was January to, I think, late February that we went through the process, and pulled that together. And yeah, you can see if you want to change anything from how it was done before. The one thing I would like to do is have a meet and greet for people who are interested, so the public has an opportunity other than just, answering whatever questions we have. So that's one thing I think would be really nice to get scheduled. We also have the state of the town is on April 11th. I think that's a really good time to also make sure the public's aware of our process, or the fact that we have an open seat at all. We have several openings in the town right now. So
So when you say meet, is that for us or for the town?
it'll be for the town, for the public.
Okay.
Yeah, no, not us.
Because we would have an interview.
Right, in
Right.
public session.
That's how you,
yeah, be a public interview.
Yeah, no, but I mean, a meet and greet for the public, because we also, last time it had an opening, we had space at a meeting for the public to make comments on who they thought we should select. So that's
Mm.
another factor. So allowing people to have that opportunity. We appointed Roxanne. I remember people speaking in favor of Roxanne. So, you know.
Okay.
And all of that is the public process created and used in 22, as opposed to us pulling a name out of the hat. Who's out there? Or just picking somebody who's on the screen right now and appointing them without a public process. Is that what I'm?
Yeah, I mean, those are.
You don't want necessarily want, but that is like the
I mean,
point, right?
I mean, literally, the town board could do that.
Okay.
There's nothing illegal about doing
Right.
that, provided that we did all of our discussions and things like we are in
Right, sure.
public.
Okay.
I suspect, given what I know of Ulysses, that would go over us like a balloon. So I am not inclined to that.
Right. No, I am not either. I'm just making sure I'm understanding the three avenues as they've been kind of outlined.
Okay, well, I can. So were you making? I'm sorry. You.
do I have to make a motion?
Well, you said you wanted to authorize something, and
No, I just want to see if we can direct Nate and you ask you guys to pull together
Oh, that's fine.
the materials based off of what you did in 2022.
Yeah, that's fine. No, I'm sorry.
Public hearing.
Yeah, we have a privilege of the floor. Okay,
So you can do that and bring it to us the
Mhm.
next meeting.
to your question about what committees were being left behind.
Yeah.
Tom was a representative on the finance committee
Okay.
and the Jacksonville Community Association, and that was it.
Okay.
So, I'm happy to connect with Nancy, who's the chair of the Jacksonville Community Association. I've attended many of their meetings.
Yeah.
At least their annual meetings, not their monthly meetings or anything.
Right.
And so I'm happy to step into that.
I could also pick that up because
Okay.
that's where I'm spending my time anyway.
Okay. Oh, we can coordinate that.
Sure.
I appreciate that. We wouldn't serve, we're not appointed to that, so we
Right.
don't serve as the official
Right.
liaison, but we can just keep, informally keep,
Yep.
channels open. People, those meetings are open to the general public too, so.
Yes.
Yeah, so, we can do that. And so thank you for being on the finance, though. So you're already doing that one.
Okay.
Okay. We had the next item up was yeah.
The new item.
Okay, so honestly, guys, I'm as processing it as much as you are.
Did you figure out where it is?
So the farm is. Says the farm is on Trumbull Corners Road
Okay,
in Enfield,
yeah, this says Enfield and Ulysses on the map.
or in Newfield, I mean, sorry.
Oh.
Newfield.
No,
So I'm not. That might not be the farm.
I'll see if I can find the addresses.
yeah, the parcel IDs are there.
Okay.
Is it? I don't wanna bungle this last name. Do you know how it's pronounced?
No,
But I might bungle the last one, sorry. What, pardon me?
Oaksner.
Oshner.
Yeah, they are.
Okay.
Do you want me to process?
Yeah.
Here.
Just refer to them as store all the time.
So, I'm just gonna read it for the public record. I hope you're doing well. I would like to introduce myself. My name is Brandy Colebrook and I am the Executive Director of the New York Agricultural Land Trust. I'm reaching out because there is 96.88 acres of farmland in the town of Ulysses owned by Thor Oshner. And he's interested in placing a conservation easement on his farm through the New York State Farmland Protection and Implementation Grant. This conservation easement restricts the use of the property for agricultural purposes only in perpetuity. This also restricts residential and solar development on the farm. As part of the FPIG application, it's required that a land trust such as ourselves complete the grant application and then steward the conservation easement for its lifetime. One of the requirements is getting a letter of support from each town that the property is located in. As a result, I'm requesting a letter of support from the town of Ulysses. I've attached a sample letter of support along with a map of the property so you can see the exact location. Feel free to reach out with any questions you may have. I'm also available to meet if you'd like for me to explain anything further.
Oh,
I'm looking for those 3 barns.
yeah,
Okay, so easement 3 is Halseyville Road,
this one there as well.
and easement 2, parcel ID that starts with 2 is in Enfield, and the parcel ID that starts with 35 is on Iredell Road.
I'm sorry, so 3 is in Halseyville and where was the other one?
And easement 2, the parcel that starts with 35 is on Iredell Road, the other one is Enfield.
Okay,
So 3 is what we need.
well, 2's on Iredell, so part of it's in Ulysses also. If that's Iredell running right down the middle.
Mm,
I would imagine since it said Enfield and.
yeah, it's nice. Building Ulysses. While we're searching, can you share a little bit about what a conservation easement does on our end of things? I'm asking like in terms of tax revenue. I think we talked about taxes the other week and changing. I think reducing them for certain income brackets and things like that.
Yeah.
Does conservation easement change property tax or those assessed values? I don't know. I don't know from.
So, in practical terms, it would maintain it as agriculture in perpetuity, so it will be continued to serve as agricultural, which means you can't do any improvements on it that would change it, so it's gonna be agricultural.
Sure.
So it would, be taxed. Its assessed value would probably just mirror what
Sure.
ag land in the town of Ulysses is mirrored at, so
Okay.
there's a rate that the assessment department puts together each year for the value of what an average acre of agricultural land in
Got
the
it.
town is.
But it doesn't
So-
remove it from the
It
tax
does not
roll or
remove
anything
the
like
tax
that.
roll,
Okay.
no, it creates a situation where it will not really appraise in value
Sure.
beyond that which of regular agriculture.
So you can't
but
do anything
because you
to it.
can't improve it,
Improve it.
it's not allowed to be improved.
Right.
With the conservation easement in effect.
Hmm.
So this is Halseyville. This is Iredell. So it's the corner, Halseyville and Iredell.
So this is the only, 3 is the only one that we're worried about.
And then
No, 2 is, they're both on a
two,
Iredell, but.
two,
One's it.
yeah,
By the town line.
2 is on Iredell and Podunk.
Okay, so,
Oh,
so it's
okay.
only this property then that we're. This one, this isn't Ulysses, this isn't Enfield.
Right.
Okay, so this is the,
Which one were you holding, Caitlin?
So this is 2, so this is Iredell, this is Podunk.
Hmm.
So this is in the town of Ulysses, this is in the town of Enfield.
oh,
Line. And you said this is on.
Iredell is here. This is
Iredell's
Halseyville.
policy.
I found the barns.
Thank you.
well done.
And there's more than 3.
Do we,
So this is just
Yeah.
a letter of support.
right, right,
It's not, this is not something up to us to make a decision, but it'll be up to Ag and Markets. Or not the Ag and Markets, New York State Farmland Protection.
Can we ask them to identify this better? They should put the parcel ID like in the parcel.
I mean, I was just bringing this here tonight, if you'd like me to get more information or anything like that. I could ask them to bring it back, or I mean, I could ask them for any questions you have. And then, we can take it up at our next town board meeting, it doesn't have to be done tonight, it came in
came in. Yep.
and.
Yeah, I'm not opposed to it, if they could do it, for drop of attendance. Yeah, they do. Show, put road names and the boundaries in it. Has Neil seen this or?
No, it just, it.
That date, yeah.
Yeah,
What's that?
no, nobody else has seen it. For the town board, just because the plan came in and. So I'm
Hmm.
perfectly happy to. Get them to approve, ask them for. Additional details on the maps for clarification and ask staff if there's any, feedback or any concerns. When's the next planning board meeting? We could send it to planning board if we wanted their feedback on it.
That's an
Tuesday.
8th.
Next, no, not
Next week.
Tuesday, the 7th. So what's your thought? I mean, I'm not actually worried at all about someone wanting to put their land into conservation.
Yeah, I'm
So-
not either.
If you want to get that other feedback, if you want a clarification on the maps, I'm happy to get it. What's the sentiment of the board?
Yeah, I'd like to have the parcel numbers put in the parcel
Okay.
and then some road names on it.
I think that just helps us identify the properties better when we figured it out. I have no problem signing this letter. Be nice to have some updated maps attached to it.
Which one is from?
Yeah, like having used letter maps.
So would you be willing to authorize it after, but authorize me to sign it after I get amended maps? Or do you want me to come back to the town board with the amended maps?
You're just gonna follow this template,
Yes.
I'd imagine,
I
but
would,
just insert.
there's that one typo in it that I saw.
honestly, yes, we don't want fanning operations.
We don't have that in our zoning.
No, fan dancing is not really style right now, but you never know when it could come back, right?
Right here.
Yeah, I mean, I would be fine with those amendments and updates to the map if you signed this letter,
Okay,
so I'll make the motion.
okay, so I will get those, request those back, just for clarification purposes, but for the public's understanding, our understanding is on the easement 2 detailed site plan map, we're talking about this parcel right here is in the town of Ulysses. And then on easement 3 detailed map, this part in orange, is on, Iredell. In the town of Ulysses, and this is Halseyville, but I can get clarification on that. I think it makes sense to get it. With me getting that clarification, are you okay with me submitting the letter?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, okay, then I'll put together a quick on the fly. All right, Chris loves my on the fly
Resolution.
resolution. She does not. They always are wonky. But I'll do my best. So, okay, resolves. That is town board. This is town supervisor to sign the letter of support for name,
OECH
ECH,
SNER.
SMER.
Yes, SN as in Nancy,
Thank you.
FER.
His land in the town of Ulysses to be put in a conservation easement. After first acquiring maps that clearly outline, that clearly specify the parcel.
And road names,
road
right?
names.
Yeah, appropriate road names are intersecting.
Okay. So resolve the Ulysses Town Board authorizing the town supervisor to sign a letter of support for Ochsner's land in the town of Ulysses to be put
Yeah,
in conservation easement after first.
after receiving.
I was gonna resolves. Okay. Let's see, it's town word. Needs to be included. Distance to first, yes, first acquire maps that clearly specify the parcel. Road names. Yeah. I'm not writing home, I promise. So in exchange for this, my understanding is the property owner will get basically money out of it, to answer your question. So like you can sell your development rights effectively, and that's what they might be doing. So sometimes people are reimbursed for the value of that right. So they do it with buildings also, like in New York City, if you have a historically designated building and it's like Trinity Church is a good example. Trinity Church has actually sold their air rights to another developer that they can use them to build higher than they would be legally allowed to in their zone. So in the United States is a fun land use country because we own what's above us and below us, which is unique. Not a lot of countries are like that. Some property owners, and I don't know if this in this case in particular, but in some owners, like I had a friend who worked in Lancaster, Pennsylvania. It's a lot of the Amish population on land conservation, and they actually the land is so valuable, like the land, the richness of the soil is such a productive soil that they can actually put their land in permanent agricultural protection in exchange for money, because that means that then when they sell the property, they sell it for less, which is how they're helping to maintain family farms there. So that they can, because a developer is not going to want to come and buy property,
Right.
right? So it keeps the land value, but you're deriving a one-time value,
Hmm.
one-time income. I don't know if that's in this case. It's none of our business. It's none of my business. I don't particularly care.
Because
But-
the land trust me.
They're
the
also protecting
purchase,
it,
right?
and it has to stay in.
Oh, absolutely. Yeah. Okay. For the parcels identified in exhibits 2 and 3? No,
Yes.
easements 2 and 3.
Easements to-
Easements 2 and 3 as attached. Okay. Resolved that the Ulysses Town Board authorizes the town supervisor to acquire maps that clearly specify the parcel and road names for the auctioneer's land in the town of Ulysses, that he intends to put into a conservation easement, and be it further resolved that the Ulysses Town Board authorizes the town supervisor to sign a letter of support for the land conservation application to our auctioneers for the parcels identified in easements 2 and 3. Does that work? I will move that. Is there a second?
Second.
Thank you. Any further discussion?
No.
Okay, all those in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Hey, Chris, I'm you. It's to you. There you go. Okay, upcoming events. Complaint steering committee meeting is tomorrow. At 5:30, where a public hearing will be continued since September, if I recall correctly, for the. Liz, is that
Yeah.
sounding accurate? Yep.
September 9th, I believe.
Yep, we are on I believe our 6th month of public hearings. Continuation. And that will be here at Town Hall. And then Saturday, April 11th, the state of the town will be at the firehouse from 9 to 11. We have a postcard that was created that's going out to everybody in the town. And Krista, what's the timeline on dropping that? You know?
It'll be in the mail by Friday.
Okay. And some posters up around town and town newsletter. It's already been started promoting it, the town newsletter. So hopefully we get a good turnout. There'll be snacks and lots of information. So then got a meeting on the 14th, and then the Earth Care Day is on May 2nd at the farmers market. Any other events that anybody wanted to flag?
Just a question for the May 2nd.
Mhm.
Is that when you're doing the cleanup too?
Yeah, we're
Okay.
gonna have actually, for instance.
Oh,
there.
Acted on to.
All right. We will be out there. I
Excellent.
want to make sure I put that date on the calendar.
Yeah,
So gonna
so-
try to make some installation. I don't know, Kate, was really on a roll with it.
Okay.
And we have a lot of other informational things too, so, but yeah.
All right.
awesome.
Get the boys out there. And girls. We have softball teams too. So not let them get us.
I was gonna say,
I know.
we got
all right.
two softball teams this year. Okay, thank you. Minutes. We had minutes from March 10th. They were substantial minutes. Thank you. Mostly with updates. Yeah, as much about the minutes themselves. I didn't have any issues with them. Did anybody else see anything they needed to
No.
catch?
No.
Okay,
I'll make a motion to approve the minutes as presented.
Second.
thank you. All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye. I have no board notifications. So we are back to privilege of the floor, and anybody is welcome to address us for up to 3 minutes. Anyone in person? Yep, Rich, go ahead.
No.
Oh.
City,
Okay, sorry. Roxanne, please go ahead.
Two different things. One, with regard to the process for filling the vacancy, I was the one who went through that before, so I'm pretty sure I probably have a lot of the information on my computer. A lot of there were set questions. I'm sure I wrote them out to answer them because that's how I am. And the timeline was, as Caitlin said, I believe that it was left open, advertised as open for a month and then, or maybe 5 weeks in a row, and then the board looked at the applications, interviewed all the people who applied in a public meeting. And then made an appointment with public input, so, and there were set questions. I believe, so if I can help them anyway with that, I'm sure I have a lot of stuff on my computer. I'm happy
Feel free to send it over.
send
that'd be
it
great.
on. And it's a matter of if I can find it. And then the other thing was just in just skimming over the proposed definitions to amend the town code. On the data center, it says an industrial use facility, and it's a question for when the planning board looks, when the board looks, when the attorney looks further. Do we really want to use that term, industrial, because we do a lot of light industry in our site plan review in our office and technology mixed use, and so maybe that thrown into a bit of a gray area, so it's just worth noting, maybe.
Yeah, great. Appreciate you flagging it. Thank you. Is there anybody online who wishes to address the town board? Okay, anybody else in person?
I have an email from Vivian Rose that she requested be read.
Sounds good.
Okay, my name is Vivian Rose. I reside at 104 Pennsylvania Avenue, Hermansburg, New York. As expressed in emails to the town planner, comprehensive plan steering committee, and town board, I respectfully ask that the board introduce and pass a resolution at tonight's board meeting to extend the public comment period for Ulysses 2045 comprehensive plan final draft through 12 midnight, April 18th, 2026. Release of the final draft via town website on March 18th, 2026, followed by the March 20th Ithaca Journal published legal notice of the committee's last public hearing / receipt of written statements on March 25th, leaves inadequate time for review. Thank you for your consideration and passage of such a resolution. This is too important a document for the final draft to not receive adequate time for full review and comment. That's all.
Thank you. Okay. Is there anybody else, either in public or online, who wishes to address the town board? You can have another minute.
It won't even take that. I meant to say, because I didn't use 3 before.
You
I
did.
meant to say with regard to the appointment and just as a reflection, it's true that if you wait until after the primary, it might take me a minute to get this out, that you may know who's going to be elected, but that doesn't mean that the other party doesn't have a candidate, and so you can't really make that assumption, even though in the past few years, there really hasn't been, there used to be. So I think that shouldn't really be a consideration, that decides who's gonna be on the board, because you don't really know that. So, and there could be independent candidates too.
When is the primary? Would be June, right?
It's really June.
Late.
What is it?
June 25th.
Anyway, didn't take them and then accepted that the word.
No worries. You did fine. You had 1 minute and 43 seconds left.
Water, I
in this
guess.
one.
Thanks.
Okay. Anybody else? Okay, I will, I don't think I've ever done this, but I'll move to adjourn.
Second.
So that's-
We have Rich here. Could have used him.
I have to do a recording.